Welcome back. In my last video, I showed you how to factor the left side of this quadratic equation, which was x squared plus 7x plus 12. And we figured out that when you factor this equation on the left side, you get x plus 3 in these parentheses right here, and x plus 4 in these parentheses. And this really means x plus 3 times x plus 4. You're really just multiplying two numbers here because x plus 3 will equal one number, and x plus 4 equals one number. So if you think of you having one number over here on the left side, or in the left parentheses, and another number here in the right parentheses, then you're really just multiplying those two numbers together, because the parentheses that are back to back mean that you multiply, or that you're multiplying. Let's see how we can actually solve for x, find out what x stands for in this problem. I'll create some space down here. If we're multiplying the total amount in these parentheses times the total amount in these parentheses, and we know that the number that you get by multiplying those two numbers equals 0, then how can we find out what x stands for? Well, in order to, when you multiply two numbers and you get 0, that means that one of the two numbers that you multiplied has to equal 0, which means that either x plus 3 equals 0, and you have a 0 inside of these parentheses, or it means x plus 4 is equal to 0, and you have a 0 inside of these parentheses. And let's see what number will make that happen. If x was minus 3 right here, let's say x stood for minus 3. I hope you can see that. That would mean we have minus 3 plus 3 inside of this parentheses, and minus 3 plus 3 equals 0. So if x was minus 3, we would have 0 inside of this parentheses, inside of these parentheses. And what would we have over here? X has to be the same number, because x can only stand for one number in this problem. So if x was minus 3 over here, we would have minus 3 plus 4, and minus 3 plus 4 is 1. So if x was minus 3 in this problem, we would have 0 times 1, which would be 0. So if x is, we can see that if x is minus 3, then we do get a 0 over here. But is minus 3 the only x value that will give us 0 on the other side? Well, minus 3 gave us 0 inside the left parentheses, but it didn't give us 0 inside the right parentheses. But 0 times 1 is 0. You can also get 0 on the right side we can also get 0 on the right side if this total number inside the right parentheses came out to 0. And what x value is going to make you have 0 inside the right parentheses? Well, if x was minus 4, then minus 4 plus 4 equals 0, and you would get 0 over here. What would you get over here? If this x was minus 4, you would have minus 4 plus 3, which equals 1. Which equals minus 1. And we would end up with minus 1 times 0, which equals 0. So we can already see that the two numbers, the two x values that will give us 0 on the right side are minus 3 and minus 4. But it's good for us to know some steps to go through to reach those answers instead of just knowing what the answers are by looking at the problem. So what steps could we do? If we take what we have inside here, inside the left parentheses, which was x plus 3, and we set that equal to 0 down here, you just put x plus 3 is equal to 0. Then if you solve this problem, which is a pretty easy problem now, just x plus 3 equals 0, the answer that you get for x will be the x value that will give us 0 inside the left parentheses. And let's see if that's true. Let's do x minus 3 on the left side, and let's do x minus 3 on the right side. This cancels out because it equals 0. And we get x is equal to minus 3. Oh, I'm just checking to make sure you can see that. So x is equal to minus 3 right here. And that's one of our two answers. But we also need to do the same thing over here with x plus 4. We also need to set x plus 4 is equal to 0. So let's remember that one of our answers is x minus 3. So let's save that. But for right now, I'm going to free up some space. Let's write x. Let's take what we have inside these parentheses, what I highlighted in red right here, and set it equal to 0. X plus 4 is equal to 0. And if we solve for x in this problem, then we'll get the x value that will make the number, or the total number, inside the right parentheses equal to 0. So let's solve x. Let's do minus 4 on the left side, and minus 4 on the right side. And we get 0 minus 4. And then these two cancel out, and we get x is equal to minus 4. And then remember, when you plug in minus 4 into this x up here, you get minus 4 plus 4, and you get 0 as your number in the right parentheses, and then this number times 0 gives you 0. Also, our first answer was x is equal to minus 3. And when you plug in minus 3 into this x over here on the right side, you get minus 3 plus 3 is equal to 0. And then you have 0 over here times this number on the right side is equal to 0. So minus 3 also works. And now we have the two numbers that will give you 0 on the right side, and you plug them into x. So x is equal to minus 3 and x is equal to minus 4. And those are your two answers. And thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you learn how to solve this type of problem where you end up actually getting two answers at the end. Have a good day.